Okay, on this portion of the project, what they're asking you to do is to fill in a Venn diagram. So remember, on a Venn diagram we have circles. The circle on the left includes things that come in expenses that you have when you're renting. The circle that's on the right are expenses you have when you're owning a home. Okay, and notice the section in the middle are expenses that those two things have in common. So you're just going to fill this out. Now notice any of the expenses that you have in common, anything that would happen both with a mortgage and with renting, you put that in the middle. Things that are just for when you own, for renting, you put on the left, and things that are just when you own a home, you put on the right. Okay, so for example, let's do a couple of these. What are some things that you might have to pay that rent and owning a home have in common? Now, I don't see any that are on the list, but here are some that were included in some of the questions that you did. The price of internet is not going to change based on whether you rent or own a home. The only time that would change is if the person you're renting from includes the internet in your rent. Another thing that might go here is like the price of your cell phone. That's a monthly cost. You would have to pay that whether you're owning or renting. Okay, but something that's just for rent would be a pet deposit. Now, if you own a home, more than likely you're not going to have to pay a pet deposit because you own that home and you're not going to charge yourself for having a pet. The only difference there would be if you lived in a neighborhood maybe where you had to pay to have a horse or something, a little extra to the homeowners association. Okay, something that might go over here, closing costs. Okay, if you're renting something, you're not buying it, so you don't owe closing costs. Okay, so continue, fill out at least 5 things for renting, at least 5 things for owning. They did provide a list of things they wanted to include that go with rent, and a list of things that you might include when you're owning a home. And then again, think of some things down the middle that are costs that expenses you have, whether you're buying or renting.